graphic extras. In this video I'm going to show you the picture frame feature, and in particular the picture frame feature that's in 14.2 version of Photoshop, and edit, fill, and it comes up picture frame. But before that I'm actually going to create a layer, and I think this is probably the best way to use the picture frame. Just create it on a layer, and then you can of course modify the layer, move the picture frame around so it doesn't have to be in one place. Right, edit, fill, picture frame, that has to be on, click OK. And the one I'm going to be showing you is the in this video, it takes a few seconds to appear, this dialog. It's not the quickest of dialogues to appear. It's quite a lot of code to actually go through, and this is one thing I'm going to quickly show you. Extended Toolkit is quite a good way of editing the JSX files. Now in the past those files were quite easy to edit. Now some of the code, this is quite an immense amount of JavaScript, and if you want to actually edit the shapes, and you can edit the actual thumbnail that comes on the actual interface, but to actually edit the shapes are actually in the code, so there's an awful lot. And maybe some enterprise and soul will create some tool to modify this, or maybe hopefully they will add some feature to be able to add additional shapes, because obviously it would be really great to be able to add more shapes. But here's the actual code for the shapes, not the easiest to edit. Anyway, just going to go back now to the actual Photoshop, and what you can do, you don't actually have to go with the site. See, you can set the different frames. There's a whole range of frames. I've chosen this one because it actually allows you to access the leaf, and these are the leaves. I've actually reduced all the other flower size down, also the size here, so there's nothing to actually show other than the actual leaf. You can modify the leaf color. I'm just going to click on that, maybe make it yellow leaf, increase the size, and of course you can actually change the shape as well. There's a whole range of different shapes, and like I said, this is the thing that would be nice to be able to edit, but it's going to be tricky I think to edit them. Anyway, so once you can do, click OK. Okay, well that's one frame. Obviously at this point you can say, well that's it, that's quite decent. But you can also go back in, of course. Now I could create a new layer and then combine them, but I'm not going to do that at this point. I'm just going to go edit, fill, I'm going to go back in. Of course it takes a few seconds again to build up the interface. It will appear, and unfortunately you don't actually see that one, but of course I could reduce the size and leave size, and I'm going to say go for a pink, very pink design. I can change the angle, randomize the arrangement again, do that. Now I can click OK, and it will do another one, and it will put it on top of the existing one, which is quite nice. So you can actually create more than just a simple basic frame. You can actually now obviously create multiple copies to build up quite complex frames just by reapplying the actual plugin or tool, what do you want to call it. Okay, so once you've actually done that, you can of course, now it's just a standard layer, so you can of course just go and say layer style, drop shadow. You can add a nice background to it. Also of course I can now, I'm going to go to oil paint, and you can then apply various effects to create quite interesting frame designs in a few minutes. Click OK. Oil paint again. I always find that a couple of applications of that seems to work best. There you have it. Hope you found this tutorial of interest.